Oh. Alright, let me see. Is everything all good? Hello, 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 hello. Give me 1 second, give me 1 second. Alright, so hello everybody, welcome. So okay, if you're watching this in the future, like if you're watching this as a, you know, as if you're watching this as a recording or that's a VOD, remember everything I talked about will be timestamped on the YouTube description and the pinned comments. So today we'll be going over Iron Saga 5th anniversary events, as well as of course Lucifer and the newest Mazinger Zero Retrofit that I'll be talking about today. So for those who want guides on what's it called, on that Drone Girls pilot, I will push that a little bit later until the next stream, because this stream I want to just cover the things that is in this, you know, that is in this update. So Jesus Christ. Sorry if I sound a bit tired. I just done, yeah, anyway, whatever, anyway. But welcome. Alright, let me watch your own stream, make sure everything is fine. Again, let me know if my voice is fine in the video compared to the music, so I can adjust it before the stream starts. So let me see on which is it fine. Okay, it seems a bit too loud, I feel like. Let me see if I can make it a little smaller. Hold on, give me 1 second. Let me let me show myself real quick. Hello. You mean the free rolls we can get can only be used on banners other than banner ones? Okay, I will be getting into all of this. Yes, I will be getting into how, you know, like how you know, how the rolls, stuff like that. And yeah, give me 1 second. Let me just make sure everything is good. Let me check on YouTube so I can, you know, answer the question live as well. Alright, let me see if I can. Welcome. You mean free rules we get that we can use other than banner one? Okay, so there will be, so the free rules we're getting are actually way more than the one that we just get from collabs. So or is like we get way more free rolls, like not just from the roulette, but also there are a collab one which I will get into them. All right, so let me log into Ian account so I can show you guys. So give me 1 second. So yeah, well, just first of all, just covering some news today. Just know everything I talked about will be timestamped below. First of all, I'll be talking about all the news here, like for example, like the roulettes and the login reward, as well as the crane game, and of course the profit cup as well. And then after that, I'll timestamp, you know, Mazinger Zero's build guide, as well as boss pilot awakening and Lucifer's. And yeah, so let's start from the free rolls, because I think that is the people, or that's what people. Oh my god, Jesus Christ! Let me make sure everything is not too loud. Okay, hopefully this is fine. Again, let me know if the audio is fine, right? So, so free rolls, rolls that you get from the Super Voucher Limited. So this is the roll that you get from the roulettes, as well as login rewards. As you can see, if you go to supplies, you will get a login rewards, and this is what you will get. And this can be stacked with your, you know, with your daily roulette rewards, and it can be saved for future use. As you can see, the expiration date, so make sure to use it before it expires. However, I would suggest you to save, like, don't use the rolls yet. Save the rolls until the next, like not until the next banner reset, but a day before the reset. Check Iron Saga Twitter or check Discord to see what are the next banners. And if, like for example, if you don't like anything in this banner, right, in the current banner, which in my opinion is actually not too bad. Like there are ones that you want to grab if you don't have it already. Like Bahamut's a good one. This blue one is a good one if you're into PvE. And yeah, even Odin can be a good pick as well, for some players. So definitely. But the thing is, like, right, you don't know what the next banner reset is. Like, you know, maybe the next banner reset will be better. So what I would suggest is wait until you know what the next banner reset is, and if it is something that you don't like, then I think you can definitely use the banner on the banners we have now. And for this banners, you cannot use it on banner 1 because, you know, you essentially just get a free latest Mecha, which, I mean, it's sad that you couldn't do that, but it also makes sense, right? You know, like, that everyone will have Lucifer, then Lucifer would just be like, no one spend money on Lucifer, I guess. So it kind of makes sense that you couldn't use this vouchers on Lucifer. And you also couldn't use it on the collab units as well, because the collab units have their own, you know, what's it called? Own sort of free rolls, which I will show right now. Where is that? Okay, let me make sure my sound is not too bad. Oh, someone pinged me. Give me one second. I don't know what's happening. I hope everything is good. But what's it called? Hold on. Okay, so I'm still live, right? Okay, yeah, I'm still live. Okay, good. So where are we? So for the collab banner exclusive rules is another login reward. So like we're getting like a lot more than, like, or at the very minimum you can get 100 roll from just the normal, you know, login roulette alone. But combine this with the, you know, the daily login giveaways, and of course the collab login giveaways is pretty, like, you can definitely get more than, you know, probably more than 200 rolls if you get lucky enough, but it'll be very hard for you to only get like a little bit over in this, you know, in this whole event. So actually, if you have friends that haven't played Iron Saga in a while, I think this is also a good time for you guys to, you know, invite them back in to play, because this is a really good time to start playing again, because, you know, other free rules. So for the collab rules, you get the chest. Now I actually have never seen those chests before. I think it is because for Ian, somehow the collab, you know, the Mazinger 0 collab are with the, you know, are with the anniversaries, so we couldn't exactly, hold on. So we couldn't exactly Jesus Christ, hold on, what's going on? So we couldn't exactly I need to ban this person real quick. Give me 1 second. Cause I think this is, yeah, hold on. Super. Who is this person? I'll give me 1 second. I need to ban this person because this person looks like a scammer. Yeah, I apologize. Alright, so yeah, so back then when Mazinger 0 are in Unsea, it is usually like that, like, basically you get to roll the roulette and not just open a box, but I think because like Ian and Unsea's, or what's called Ian Mazinger 0 collab are combined along with you know, the anniversary events. They kind of had to find a way to, you know, give up both roulettes, so we got this special chest for us. Now I don't remember if we also get this before, but I remember I like we get to roll, you know, our own things. But yeah, so as you can see, this free roll are the one that can be using it on what's called on what's going on the climb units. So wait, where is the rolls? Let me check. Also, sorry if I'm like a bit like off my mind, because I saw some notifications And I hope there's not scammers. So yeah, anyway, so as you can see, you can use it on Great Mazinger as well as Mazinger Zero. Of course, Zero being the better choice for PvP. And for PvE, I really don't suggest you rolling Great Mazinger even just for it. Like only if you already have a Mazinger Zero, then you can use it, or then I think it'll be more worth it if you use it on Great Mazinger. Because if you want to have a good PvE unit, you can just use your free rolls on this blue guy if you want a DPS. So, and so in this whole event, aside from the login rewards, how many days of login rewards do we get? I think it's 7 days, right? No, 10 days. So that's another 10 rolls. So guarantee from so the rules from from the other banners like the non-collab and non-banner one, you can get at least 110 rolls, and you will definitely get higher. Like it's very hard to not get higher than the base minimum from the roulette. Like that would be lucky in a way, or like that'd be very unlucky in a way, because the probability of that is too low. And another possibility is you can get up to 400 rolls, which will be even more improbable because how do you supposed to get 20 rolls 20 days in a row, right? But hey, if anyone can calculate a chance of that happening, definitely let me know, because I am interested. So, and aside from the minimum 110 free rolls from for the banners that is not a banner one and collab units, you can of course get I think it's 3 days, right? So you can of course get up to at least was it 3 days or was it 3 days? So yeah, for the 3 days you can at least get 15 rolls. Like let's say if you get 5 on all 3, you can get at least 15 rolls from four Great Mazinger and for Mazinger Zero. And the only thing that you couldn't really roll is Lucifer, because Lucifer is the banner one, and you couldn't really or like it wouldn't make any sense if you're able to just roll, you use a free roll on, especially the amount of free roll that we're getting. Yeah, that kind of just makes sense. And another thing before you're is because and another thing to look up while you're rolling is that, let's say if this is your first what's it called, Mazinger Zero collab, just know that you don't need to roll like let's say you're a new player, right? If you're a new player, definitely check out the collab shop if you already have developed them already. Once you develop them, it will show 1/1. So make sure you get the development, or you make a copy from the development from the development first. Then you roll the amount that it will take for you to get a Retrofit, which is 5 copies. You need a total of 5 copies. And with all the free rolls that we have now, it's very easy to get enough, Super Alloy Z, the purple one, to get, to redeem. Actually, I don't know if they were. I'm not sure if they come back, but if they do come back, then you can definitely use a Super Alloy to redeem Zero or Great Mazinger. If you again, that's another free copy. So definitely make sure that, so if you're gonna be Super Alloy Zing one as well as developing one, then you only need 3 copies of each. If you don't have any copies before that, to get it to 9 star, for you to retrofit it to 10 stars. So yeah. And of course, do not forget, this is something people may forget, is that you can, so I already redeemed the things in here, but if you haven't already, go to the Super Alloys, the Super Alloy store, not the Super Alloy Z store, but the Super Alloy store. You can use your excess amount of the green ones, so the one that you get from dismantling extra units, you can use those Super Alloys to redeem a solar badge, which is this one, which is this, and you can just pick whatever you want. And make sure if you're gonna be using that on Zero, make sure to use it within the collab period, because if you don't, the collab units will disappear on it. So yeah, I'll be getting to that. Yeah, I'll be answering questions after I finish talking about certain things. Yeah. And yeah, and these two, it doesn't really matter. So yeah, just make sure to pay attention to the Super Alloy store and the thing as well. And of course, do not forget about the where is it? You can find it in Arena. Yeah, there you go. Do not forget about the Prophet Cup. Now, even if you guess everything wrong, right? Like, let's say if you guess everything wrong, right? The amount, like, I've been forgetting to guess a lot. But even if you guess everything wrong, you can still potentially have enough to redeem the more important stuff. Like, for example, super vouchers and or part shard selector, which can be pretty important when you are trying to get a certain parts that you need, especially for the Retrofit quests. So yeah, definitely, in my opinion, the most important one are, first of all, get your super vouchers, which is another, well, it's not free, but it is something that you can get potentially if you're guessing it right. And if you want to guess it right, or if you want a higher chance of guessing it right, just join Discord and ask, is hey, which one will have a stronger win, which one will have a stronger win rate, and there you go. So yeah. And of course, after you redeem the super vouchers, I will suggest getting the part shard selector, because they are pretty important. Again, for Retrofit quests, if you ever need that one single piece of shards and stuff like that. So, and otherwise, just if you have extra more, that can get them as well, like Bormentation or just some other ones like gold. The gold is good too. Yeah. Alright, so aside from that one, what else? So Crane Game, there you go, Crane Game. So where's Crane Game? So after you go in here, go to Daily Arcane, you get to play the Crane Game, which you can, which you will get which you get the token for, if you just daily logins, right? And it seems like they're actually getting pretty nice stuff, especially if you're free to play. If you're a the veteran, then the rewards are like the rewards are still pretty good, because you get a lot of stamina and as well as just gold, which everyone needs. It doesn't matter if you're veteran or not, right? And for new player, you can potentially get what is this one? This is yeah, hold on, what's a Zhenzu Quan, right? Yeah, Zhenzu Quan. And Zhen is actually pretty, well, it's not meta per se, but it's a tool if you want to be using it, if you want to be using time slot teams. So yeah, and it's all unlimited. So for those who like, this is definitely something that you should do, regardless of what kind of player you are. So just make sure to do all of these for the anniversary. They are really giving out a lot of rewards for the for the oops, I don't care. I'll just hold on. But yeah, I can just exit. Yeah, there you go. So, and of course we got a popularity. I'm not sure what reward you get from popularity rule, but if you want to make your your sound heard for the for the dev, I guess you can, I guess can do a vote. I'll vote mine right now, actually, or at least for the for pilot, just to see if we get anything from this. If we're not getting anything from this, I wouldn't really worry about this that much. So yeah, I don't. Where is the character that I like? I do not remember. Fighting characters in Iron Saga when there's so much characters here is actually Melu. We got. Where is I couldn't find it. You know what? I'll just go Becca's and. Yeah, there you go, done. Doesn't seem like we get anything, but whatever, right? If you want to, so I think that should cover everything. Hold on, let me make sure I actually did got everything. So I got a Crane Game, we got the login wars, we got the yeah, I think for the events overall, I think we got everything. Now let's get into the guides for the mechas. So when should I start first? Should I start Lucifer or should I start with Mazinger 0? And if you guys want to Great Mazinger Kaiser guide, I do have that on one of my previous live streams somewhere. Like, it should be on a title. So if you guys want to see it, like if you guys want to know how to build the Retrofit version of Great Mazinger Kaiser, definitely check that out, or then can go find my things. So let me see. Give me a PvP update. PvP build. Yeah. Okay, yeah. I'll get into that after I finish talking about builds. Giving a build for all units like Obolo, King Arthur, and etc. I can try. Yes, I can try after I talk about. So after I finish about Mazinger, and after I finish about Lucifer guide. If you guys are still here, then I will get into that. Or even if you guys are not here, I'll still do that just so you guys can like come back and see the thing. But I wouldn't be time stamping those. So if you guys want to see those, you guys have to find it yourself. You know, at the end of the stream. So yeah. And so okay, so get into Mazinger Zero. So Mazinger Zero Retrofit. Now Mazinger Zero Retrofit campaign doesn't really change that much per se. Well, the changes it has is big. Because one of the biggest downsides for Mazinger Zero is that it is not. It's like its action is not on par with some of the mechas today, like for example Lucifer or some other crazy mecha that can just outmaneuver Mazinger Zero very easily. And the thing about Mazinger Zero, but the thing about Mazinger Zero is that you don't really need, like, I guess, it is carried by its chassis, where you know it will just not take damage if your HP is high enough, and of course, if Mazinger Zero managed to grab even once, then you can probably kill, you know, whoever it grabbed, because based on Mazinger Zero's chassis. So if you guys want about the chassis, definitely check out my new video, or check out my old video on, or just my guide on Mazinger Zero video. So I wouldn't be getting into detail on this one, but I want to talk about the changes. Now the changes is that attack speed, mobility, and weapon change or action response speed plus 30%. Now this is overall, like, this buff, even though it has been giving out onto a lot of the collab units, are an overall upgrades, you know, for any mecha, honestly, and especially the action responsiveness, and of course the mobility and attack speed as well. This is very important because it can dish out damage before it is either stopped or before it is, like, you know, got CC'd by something on the field, right? And if you give this to Mazinger Zero, that means you can one-shot people easier. One of the reasons why people have built Mazinger Zero, which I would probably, you know, like, go back and forth with the builds as well. One of the reasons why people build Mazinger Zero with, along with, an enjoyer, which this co-pilot, like, the reason why people put an enjoyer on, like, this co-pilot on Mazinger Zero, is because Mazinger Zero are just kind of slow. Like, it couldn't dish out D damage to one-shot enemies within the time that, you know, within enough time before it gets CC'd or something, because of its bad actions. And now with this, essentially that is this co-pilot skill. Like, it's not exactly, but it is like a more consistent version of this skill. So that means you don't really, because you already are very, very fast, you know, at, you know, killing enemies and stuff like that. So you don't need this anymore, and because you don't need her anymore, you can actually go back to the defense and put on more HP. And by having more HP, that means you will be even tankier and you can kill enemy even faster, based on, because of its HP. So basically, this alone, like, this skill alone, put Mazinger Zero's Retrofit back into meta. Like, literally, this chassis alone put him back. I mean, it was still, like, very strong, but it is definitely not as, you know, as crazy as how it was before. But with this, you know, with this new chassis, this one change really kind of elevates it. Like, one of the reasons why people, like, or one of the reasons HP Zero wasn't just doing more, like, as I said before, the reason why pure HP Zero are not doing well is because, you know, you couldn't, like, it's not fast enough. It just get outmaneuvered. But now that it itself can, you know, or because of that, people turn into using Enjoyer for more bursts. So Mazinger Zero can actually kill enemies if it gets lucky, or it's easier for Mazinger Zero to kill the enemies. And now that it doesn't need that, it can go back to its unkillable states. Go back to its unkillable states and going back to its one-shotting everything one-shotting everything easier because of its high HP. Back into the meta even more, I guess, because that chest is just kind of broken, which I guess is fitting for Mazinger Zero. So yeah, no complaints there. I do feel kind of funny that Enjoyer was used again because Zero was a bit too clumsy, but yeah. Anyway, so is anything to talk about? So yeah, this is just kind of how it goes. Now, the only changes between my old guy as well as my old guy is the changes between on pets. Now, my old pets I have Momo on because Momo just increase more HP, right? But I still have Scorpion because Scorpion can, because again, even though it got faster, it still kind of lack certain CCs, I guess, or I guess it's much better to have Scorpion than just more HP. Now that you already have a lot more HP, you don't need that 10%. You can actually use it on Scorpion, so at least it got some forced CCs onto the enemies, and of course this is extra damage in PvP as well, because it just make your opponents unable to do any counter attack ish move and stuff like that, and just do more damage to potentially one-shot enemies. So that's pretty good. And of course the core is also I'm using this core because this core can because I do think the ability of this core is better than the 10% more HP that you would get if you were using the charge core. But if you want to go for more HP, you can definitely go for charge core as well, because again, it's kind of situational also, right? It's kind of situational, like in some builds you might not even be using full HP as well. And there are even things I have seen where Tetsuya's force skill is not as, or Tetsuya Awaken's force skill might not work as well compared to compared to when it was not retrofitted. So yeah. Actually, yeah, so his force skill may not work as well compared to on zero retrofit, because it might not over, or maybe it got too fast to a point where it can actually hurt its performance. But this will be up for you to test it yourself if Tetsuya is good or not. But in my experience, people have been using it more with Disaster. So again, more maneuverability for Zero, and of course to anti the time stop teams, which is pretty important as well, because time stop team has been a things. It's kind of creeping up here and there because we have Eternal Prime and such. So yeah. And yeah, this is also good. And because you are using what's called Disaster, you can probably go for more HP as well, because Disaster don't really have anything that give HP. But let's say if you're not going for it, but if you don't want to go for HP, you can actually just go for like well, I think you should still go for HP if you are working for Disaster, because it is kind of the only thing going on for Zero is his HP thing combined with its so yeah, you need like 50k HP. That's not bad. Yeah, that's not bad. And maybe you can probably want to put Charge Core on for this one as well if you want to. But let's say if you're using someone with HP already, like for example if you're using Tetsuya, or if you're using something like Elaine or something like that, right? You probably don't even need a little more HP. You can probably go for something like hold on, they put the Subaru fist on. You can probably go for something more CC-ish. I don't know what it would be, but either see something more CCs or something that can like prevent you from being stunned by Wolong Thunder or something like that. For example, you can put on her competitive skill for you to not get stunned. But this can pretty much be remedied if you'll be using, chains. But again, depends on the situation, right? Depending on who you're facing against, build your zero accordingly. The general builds are in my Mazinger Zero builds, and then you can use those builds, and depending on who you fight against, if you fight against Wall and Thunder, put on chains, or you can put on some HP, or you can have some HP parts like this one, or this one, or paddings. Where is it? So yeah, and then you can have a co-pilot skill that can anti the stun. Like for example, this one. It depends again. Highly depends on your on the enemy's team. But for me, I'll probably go for something that I see most people use is disaster. Some people even use it with chin or something like that. Again, let me test it out myself to see which one is better, because there's just too much possibilities for Zero. There's no set best build. A lot of them are tied to your team setups, right? If your team already have a certain role, like if your team have all damage DPS, then you probably don't to be doing DPS. You probably have Zero as a pure tank or something like that. So but I'm putting disaster mainly because it is a more universal build for it. So yeah, I'm putting disaster. I'm putting this on. If you guys want like how do you say it? If you guys want like a universal build that works in most situations, it would be this, something like this. So something like this, maybe. Okay, actually, even this is not that universal, because again, HP amount really depends on what you're comfortable with, and again, what you're fighting against. Like if you are fighting against Leviathans, right? You probably should go pure HP, just max out HP, because so Leviathan don't kill you. But if you're fighting against something that is technical, like for example, you're fighting against Odin's, or if you're fighting against like Odin, you're fighting against what's Ling Zhu or something like that, then you probably doesn't need that much HP per se. You can probably just go for more technical builds, or something like that. But something like this can work. I am putting this on because I'm under the assumption that you're probably not fighting against Wall Thunder, but if you are, then you probably want to put on chains. But something like this is probably something that you can go for. And let's say, and if you find that your Zero are taking more damage, then you probably put on claws. Then that will be pretty good. The reason why I'm using Super Raw Fist, and the reason why people use Super Raw Fist on Zero, is because it's for yours to kill enemy Zeros. That's the reason why people use Super Robot Fist, and because you wouldn't be taking damage at all, then there's no reason to use claws to gain HP back. But since you disaster on Zero, that means your HP is not the maximum, 60k, 80k, something like that. Then maybe you can, depending on the team, you probably want to use claws to have a safer bet. But again, this will still depend on depending on the enemy team and your team setup at this point. So, but this is probably the most universal build that you can have for Zero. The O Zero, like if you are not without Retrofit, without Retrofit, you want to use Tetsuya along with Enjoyer co-pilot skill. But now that you have a Retrofit, something like this will be akin to the basic builds. So, and there's that pilot that can probably get from bars or from Heartbox if you want. It is a pretty good unit to get, probably the most worthy mecha pilot to get. So if you were planning on getting a Heartbox, or if you have lying around, you can probably get Disaster on. So yeah. So alright, so that should be it about Zero. I know they got a new action, but honestly, did he even get a new Zero? It's so it's so, how do you say, it's so, because the thing is his actions are just not on, it's just not modern, you know. Like I already talked about that before, which is a good thing because, you know, if it's actually are modern, then, you know, all the mecha doesn't need to exist anymore. Like, when any mecha can just, like, you know, or if he can outmaneuver, you know, modern mecha, then this is game over. So. Alright, it's this move, yeah. Alright, not too bad, yeah. So this move, no, I don't remember the exact detail, but I do know that I think there's a grab. I think is an initial grab. So, if the enemy did get grabbed by initial grab, it's probably gonna be eating the whole, you know, the whole AOE from that, and it's pretty quick. It's not, you know, it's not, you know, it's not something like final, like, it's not like this one where it can potentially get cut in the middle. Like, now, most mecha getting caught by this will probably die, but if you're fighting against something like Hong or something like that, some units can actually escape from this. And with this one, it's less likely for enemy to really escape, and of course the AOE can, you know, like can deal with enemies back row much easier if they're hiding in the back, and potentially even just killing them even without, you know, zero targeting them. So that's pretty good. Yeah, very good move for the Retrofit, and I will say that's actually, yes, so never mind. It's actually pretty meaningful that it got this move. So, yeah. Mainly just because of the speed, honestly. I just hope that, like, never mind, yeah, it's pretty good. Alright, so is there anything else? So I think that covered everything about. Yeah, zero. This chassis alone, like, even if he didn't get this new skill, like, even if he didn't get this new EX, what's called, XO, this new chassis can already make zero top again just because attack speed broken. So yeah. But again, for those who want to use, you know, the old way, for example, with Tazia and stuff like that, right? Definitely look out, because, you know, the Tazia's first skill may not correspond too well with zero, because, you know, test it out, right? Test it out to see which one's better. So, alright, so I'll get into Lucifer, but let me do chat to make sure everything is fine. So we're waiting for when we get it. Okay, so yeah, I'll get into it. I got my first 0-0-1 login. That's great. What's the part is that? Oh, right. What's the support part is that? So that support part is hold on. Do Ian have it yet? Give me 1 second. Don't tell me Ian doesn't have it yet. Hold on. Whoa. Okay, hold on. Okay, Ian doesn't have that yet. That's interesting. Okay, hold on. Is it not out with the thing? Okay, yeah, okay, never mind. Okay. Well, okay, it's for future proof, right? It's for future proof. Now, if you don't have this one, right? Okay, so this one is essentially just a purple version of this part. Except, and the reason why I'm using it is because it, aside from protecting zero from these, you know, like blow up, slow, like stun or something like that. Aside from protecting them from those, it also adds, I think, 12% HP. Yeah, which is the highest HP gain for any support parts. So it's like perfect, right? Anti-CC, zero is very scared of its CCs, and it can also gain HP. So that's probably the best part for zero. But if you don't have it yet, any HP will work. Like, just look at your parts, get the one with the most HP, done. That's just how easy it is. But if you're fighting against, you know, Warlong, then you want to use, you know, chains. So training at 10% HP for you to not get destroyed by Warlong, you know. So yeah. So I apologize for that. I didn't know that this part is not Ian yet. It shouldn't be too far from Ian. So yeah. Don't worry about that. Hi, welcome. Yeah. Alright. So let's get into Lucifer build. If you are still here, and sorry if I'm not talking about, like, so I'm not reading chat that much because, you know, I want to focus on talking about a certain thing first. And yeah, now, okay, Lucifer. I'm not even gonna try to read this. Just so you got two issue bars. You got a light, or you got a, like, a. So, how do you say? Okay, so 2 issue bars, and every time it take, I think, 30% damage, there was they will switch the HP bars, and then while one is switched, the one that is not being used are regenerating. So it's pretty awesome, pretty broken, pretty just how do you say it is really as annoying as that skill sounded. 2 HP bar, 2 HP bar to deal with. It by itself, it already got like an anti-burst ish kind of skill. With the 2 HP bar stuff. Tankiness is already out of the way. It got sustain, that got the sustain got a tank, and of course it doesn't like. Its action is not too bad. It can do good damage, especially when paired with something like Hongwu and stuff like that. It can really just be just be a Lucifer, on a battlefield. Now, other than that, like other than its 2 HP, other than its 2 HP or what's called 2 HP bars. Now, I definitely think I might have forget something about it, but I do believe the 2 HP bar are what makes it really more special. Because damage can just be done, or a lot of units with Hongwu can already kill 0 already, so it's nothing too like being doing high damage is not something too special, in my opinion. So yeah, so the 2 HP. Now I'm not really sure what to talk about, because although it sounds complicated, it's also not that complicated. It's just 2 HP bars and good actions combined with Hongwu. It will just keep on spamming actions, and if it ever gets attacked even for a little bit, it will just switch HP bars. Hongwu will still be doing it, and by the time Lucifer take enough damage to switch HP bars again, the other HP bar are already maxed from the regeneration. So like, how do you kill this thing if you are using Hongwu on it? I don't know. Nobody knows. That's why we only have one Hongwu, right? So once Hongwu move on, then Lucifer will be more manageable. And if you ever wonder, yeah, so it's okay. So if you're dying to Lucifer in arena, just know that it's less about Lucifer, it's more about the pilot on it. Albeit Byron, Hongwu, or whatever. Once those pilots move on to better things, or move on to a unit that needs them more, your Lucifer, the enemy Lucifer, will be more manageable. Now, it is still very annoying to deal with because of its just 2 HP bar nature. But it is not something that you need to that you need to, or that you can specifically anti it. Like, it would just kind of be, it can just be how any other modern would be. Like, it is not 0 where you can we're gonna try to anti it. So I just a brawler, I guess, just brawler with its saying. And this is a unit that I actually suggest for new players, because this unit by itself, even if you don't have any builds on it, it can already tank, it can already do damage, it can already regenerate its health back. So yeah, and even if you had the worst build on it, it can still do everything that it can do for new players. So the only thing that it really needs is probably anti-CCs, which again not many units are really. I mean, actually no, it does have anti. Yeah, it is truly a unit that I think will be very beneficial for new players, especially because like they don't know how to build anything, right? And they might face against units that have CC, that have that require a tank or look at DPS. If you have Lucifer, even just at whatever star, like a 6-star or something, you can probably already do it can probably already carry you through a lot of the battles. So I would probably imagine it being Ling Zhu with a little less survivability, but putting them into offensive abilities. That's what I would probably imagine it to be. So okay. Let's go to the builds then. Oh, but first, okay. I'll introduce weaponry first. Now, is weaponry sword melee being first is always good, so you can use the new sword parts for more damage. And of course, they got fist melee at 5-star, so you can either use Super Fist for you to do more damage on 0, which is the reason why if your 0 is dying to Lucifer, because they have the Lucifer have super buff is on because of this fist that he has. And if the enemies and if the enemy Lucifer are not dying, it might be because they have claws on for you to, for them to regenerate HP even more. So not the building part will probably be something like this. Just you CD build. Your first parts would just be this purple joint, for you to do more damage. And if you do my purple joint, and sometimes it might be even better if you want to use hydraulics, which again sometimes might be better, if not mostly better. So if you're free to play, just get this one. If you're a top player, you can choose between the purple one or this one, up to you, or whatever you want, or whatever you think is better. And I'm using claws because claws are just more universal, because you don't know if the units that you're fighting against can take more, or can attack you or can do more damage to you. So it's always safer to go for stall, I guess, in my opinion. So that's why I'm using claws. And combine this with the spam of Byron, it can really just have even more sustainability to get your HP back. So yeah. But if you're feeling a little bit more courageous, you can probably go for this one, like they recommended, for you to do more damage. Or if you're fighting against Zero, you can probably use something like Super Raw Fizz, so you can be, so you can do more damage to Zero. But if you want to go Zero, I'll probably go for this one, just because I do think this one is more universal as well. Not sure about Super Raw Fizz against units with Firm Steel, so yeah. But again, Claw I think is still the safest bet if you definitely want to use that. Awaken for Lucifer, yes, Lucifer picking up pilots, and that's actually very good. The only reason is because the only reason why everyone uses Byron is because Byron, no, not Byron, Hongwu is because again, anyone with Hongwu will just be annoying. It's not exactly the mecha is. So yeah, if you ask anyone, right, can I use Awaken Matilda? Can I use Awaken Becca's on it, right? People will say, oh, it's outdated. And you ask what is the best pilot on it, everyone will say Hongwu. Literally, if you any new mecha, just Hongwu is the best pilot because Hongwu is that annoying. So yeah. So if you get confused when you ask other people, just know that people will always say Hongwu is the best because Hongwu is the best on percent of the mecha in the game. But Lucifer itself is not picking up pilots. So in fact, you might want to use Hongwu, you might want to see what other mech you have needs Hongwu first. Then you can then have whatever pilot, because Lucifer doesn't really require Hongwu. It requires Hongwu if you want it to be unkillable, and if you wanted to kill Zero, something like that, then yes, you need Hongwu. Then that would Hongwu. But if you wanted it to just be a good mecha on a field, then yeah, Matilda, even Becca's will work at that point. So we got 4 mech for 1 Hongwu. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Well, you probably should wait for that there's only one. Because if there's multiple Hongwus, then Lucifer, I'm not sure what can exactly kill anything anymore. So yeah. Yeah, exactly. Any new mecha, just the optimal will just Hongwu. I mean, there are exceptions, right? For example, Mazinger Zero, right? Mazinger doesn't need Hongwu because Mazinger Zero just stack HP, right? It doesn't need anything, it just needs HP. So yeah, in some outliers, then you don't need Hongwu. But yeah, majority of the mecha that doesn't have anything special, like either stacking HP, stacking speed, or stacking whatever, if it is a mecha, then Hongwu will usually be the best answer ever. So yeah. Anyway, so that should be about the pilot choice, or the bullet choice. And if you're a new player, you can definitely go for something like the green observation shell as well, like this one. If you are a new player, and don't have parts. So, and now for the supports, now supports this battery thing, whatever it's called in English, are basically the best, the best support ever now, for against everything, because it can just save you a lot more than and a lot more than anything else. Like Lucifer definitely doesn't need emergency detach, I don't think, because it can its HP train isn't exactly like a anti-burst, but it can, like, I just don't think it needs it. Like it really doesn't need it. So if you had a battery, just try to use a battery. If not, just any anti-CCs, like for example Chains, or if you're fighting against, Wallong Thunder, right? Chains, obviously. Then of course this one, as I talked about before, if you're not using Zero or something like that. And yeah, like I don't know. I don't know other support that you should put on aside from the batteries, the claws, and this one. There isn't really much other option that would be good. I mean, I'm not sure about the new parts in EN, maybe in NC, maybe. Let me check. Where is? Hold on. Oh, you can see that here. Yeah. The new parts here. Yeah, I don't see a support part. So if you ever have okay, so for new players, right? If you're new players, then don't worry about this. If you're a new player, just use whatever you have, right? Use whatever you have. Use this one. Yeah. If you're a new player, just use this one. But if you're a top player, or if you are like a veteran top player, or if you're into PvP, then try to get a battery, because battery is just more universal. Like there's no bugs with emergency detached. There's no some other nonsense, right? It just every 3 damage you take, like, or every 4 units, every 4 damage you take, one of them will be gone. It's kind of, so yeah, pretty interesting. Is Lucifer Pilot good for Hongwu? Not worth it. Lucifer Pilot is. I'll get into that. Yeah, I'll get into the Lucifer Pilot too. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah. Don't use that skill in PvP per se. Like, yeah, don't use the Lucifer skill in PvP, because aside from it just killing, like, so first of all, okay, you know what? I'll get into that after I talk about the builds. So very good questions. Yeah, very good question. Is Hongwu better to use on Wallong and Lucifer? Wallong, yeah. See, look, this is the reason why you want to see what mecha you need for Wallong first, or for Hongwu first. Wallong needs Hongwu much more than Lucifer needs Hongwu. So so unless you're not using Wallong, then you definitely want, like, Hongwu to be on Wallong, so Wallong can do anything. Because if you have anyone else on Wallong, the Wallong is probably not gonna do crap. The Wallong is gonna be dying back there, or just not be CCing enemies. So how about co-pilot Hongwu? I would say doors suitable, but default room ratio not good. I'll get into that as well, because Hongwu really, so co-pilot Hongwu really depends on, again, depends on the enemies and on the team. So yeah, EDS have fallen. Indeed, EDS have fallen. Yeah. So I'll get into co-pilot skill for Hongwu after I get there. So so for the armor, just firm steel armor, safest ever. And the only other option is really just what's it called? Whatever this is, the tuning fork. I guess you can also use the shield one. I don't even have that. The shield one. The newest shield, whatever parts that was, but just make sure you have firm shield somewhere so it's more safe, right? And then for the coatings, I'm using this S1 just because I don't know, in case of any are using Tau or something like that. and of course just lower overall mix damage, which is the majority of the damage now in today's arena. So yeah, overall not bad. But if you don't have this one, don't worry about it. Just use tilted armor, which is farmable. You can also use the Aya armor, which I don't know when it will be in Ian, and some other code as well that I can probably use. But overall, there's that tilted, S code, Aya. Go wrong with these kind of parts. Yeah. And yeah, okay, and now for the pets. Now pets, I mean Scorpion, just because Scorpion more CCs, just more damage potential. You can use other ones, but in my opinion, Lucifer is not a pure tank. Lucifer is also have to go out there to do damage, and Lucifer and Scorpion can really help Lucifer do that more, because I don't think Lucifer's grab game are that good. So I think Scorpion can really help out on the damage department and the CC department as well for Lucifer. I don't think there's any other mecha or any other pets that I think are better than that. I don't even think the fish are exactly great on that, because I kind of want my Lucifer to take damage so he can change, like, how do you say, like, so it can change its, how do you say, the health bar for for more effects, I guess. Yeah, for more buff and debuffs. So this is what I'll probably go for. But again, if your Lucifer are dying a lot, then switch on some stronger pets, like for example crab or fish or some other ones. Or if you want more CCs, or if you need a space desperately. Well, if you're using it with Hongwu especially, then I think you especially want Scorpion, because Hongwu spams, and more spam is the better it is for Scorpion. But if you have like Byron or something on it, right, for something less aggressive, then yeah, something more defensive might work as well. But because Byron is still the best for Lucifer to be unkillable and for it to do a lot of damage, I'm putting Scorpion here just in case, just for a general build, right? Now for the combat skill. See, I left the combat skill out on purpose because it depends on our team. It really depends on our team. Most of the time I go for just pure CD build. Now I don't think Hongwu needs CD build per se, because Hongwu can already spend by itself. But I'm using it just because I don't know, I feel a bit safer just going for pure maximum CD lowerness, I guess. But if your team needs anything, right? If your team requires you to have love, then this will be fine, because you have Hongwu on Lucifer. Your Hongwu on Lucifer is not gonna die. That means your love is not gonna go away unless your whole team is dead. So yeah, you can use love on it. You can use any support skill on it, and as you can see, I don't have any chains on it, right? So I might die to enemy Hongwu Wolong. So maybe I can use something like this corporate skill, so I am immune to so I am immune to the thunder from Wolong, so I can kill, so I can go kill the Wolong. This can work as well. And of course, she actually increased normal type damage, which I think it does that. Like, I think it does do normal type damage, so that's pretty good too. That has that. So it depends on your enemy, like, right? For example, if your team is set, right? If your team is all set, all done, you don't need anything else for your team, is all awesome, then yeah, I think you can go for more a selfish build where you can just go for, just pure over the top action thing fighting mode, kind of. But if your team kind of needs a little bit of healings, you can put on love, you can put on some of the support skill, some more technical skills on, more bursts, more I don't think they're CCs, but yeah, just more bursts and such and stuff like that. And of course, if you're fighting against, you know, certain enemies that will just put you in jail forever, then you can probably use, you know, something that can anti-CCs so you don't get put in jail forever, I guess. Unless you, of course, unless you already have, like let's say if you're using a chain here and you're fighting against Wolong, then you don't need this skill, then you can have something else on. But I think skipping out on the batteries is a big too tall of an order, so maybe you can probably use something better, like for someone to use this one. So probably something like this is what I would go for like a meta right now team, build, I guess. Just so you got anti-CCs from the, you know, from the Wolong's Thunders, right? Using this Copilot skill. And you got, you know, you have more CC from the Scorpion, and Coating and Armor just for extra protection, and the support as well, and the Claw for, you know, some regeneration, even though it already has some regeneration, and of course just CD, more damage build. So this is the universal build for most situations. This is not going to cover every situation. It's not going to cover for every team. Of course, you know, sometimes you might not want to use Hongwu on some other units. Sometimes you might want to use Byron. Now, what happens when you use Byron? Now, this is a whole new different stories. Now, right now, Byron is here. You don't have, you know, a support skill for anti, you know, stuns. Then how are you gonna build it? Again, depends on what. This also depending on what you have and what your team setup is, right? Like something I will probably go is probably something like this, and I'll probably go for just maybe more selfish. Yeah, maybe more selfish, just so I can spend more actions or something like that. Like for example, I mean you can put love on it. I think this can definitely work as well. But I'll probably go for G Stone just for more, you know, maximum spamminess. It's probably something I'll go for. But again, see what you have and find the best pairing that you have. So I should be good. Probably put this thing on. I think, you know, what other units are good with this? Probably something probably. Where is she? Where is she? I don't remember. Do I have a skin on? Do I have a skin on her or something? Oh yeah, her. I don't know her English name, and she have a support, so she can actually use. But the thing is, she already get Gmo, right? Like for example, she already get Gmo, so does she actually needs anti-stun? You know, who knows, right? Who knows? And because she already get Gmo, so maybe you can actually skip out on other things and just put on purely on, you know, purely on action, or purely on heals and stuff like that, right? So, you know, very interesting build. Not picking up pilots. Just don't put on a support pilot. You should be fine. Put on a brawler, right? Put on a brawler. Put on like a tank. Put on an action spam or something like that. That should work as well. So yeah. But yeah, I'm putting back Byron. So just show you guys the general build. And I will leave the co-pilot out just because, again, it is again, depends, right? It really depends. So yeah. You said can replace. Yes, it's not exactly replace. It's more like for example, right? If you're not using Hongwu on Lucifer, then it would not be able to do being, you know, for example, being unkillable and being able to kill Zero at the same time, right? It's not able to do that because you don't have Byron on it. So Byron is not gonna be replacing Hongwu to be able to have Lucifer to be able to do that, but it is an option to use it. Like, it is probably the best option after Hongwu. It couldn't do what Hongwu does, but it is the only other, like, it is the second best option, I guess. So yeah, I know Tao was off meta. Yeah, okay, see, look, off meta, yes, but if, you know, sometimes she might still be used in Zenith or in Apex, and if you are using Lucifer on those matches, and if enemy does attack you using a Tau team, it can kind of help. And yeah, so. And yeah, alright, so now let's talk about why Lucifer's pilot are not good in PvP, because it like Hongwoo's her other skills are nothing too impressive. Now, I mean, her combat skills are actually wait, is that it might actually be impressive. I didn't actually take a look at it that much, but you know what? Yeah. Now, impressive is impressive, but it is not enough to a point where you will use her as a main pilot. Like, far from it. But her second combat skill is really for Lucifer to start on the other health bar first, because you know it does 33% damage, and you know Lucifer changes at 30% to another health bar, right? So that is the main goal for that skill, for you to start on like this on like the dark mode instead of the bright mode, I guess. So and aside from that, I mean that is good for Byron. And what you get from losing that HP is a 50% chance of gaining like fastened actions, right? Now that's a very good skill to have, but in PvP, it's not like people already doesn't use the old Hongwoo co-pilot skill, you know, in PvP. So why would this be better, right? Why would this be better when it takes 30% of your HP, right? So yeah, not that useful. Like N plus it is 50% chance. Like some people might think, oh, maybe you can use it to fasten, you know, fasten like little spin or something, or some other effect like that. Not gonna work in my opinion, because again, chance is too chancy. Like you might not be fast on the thing that you want to be fast on, and so yeah, it's not really worth it. But again, this skill does open up for Lucifer to be used in PvE, which I'll get into that later. But for now, yeah, it's not PvP-ish. In attack, again, too much cooldown, 5 seconds for 12%, you know, action cooldown reduction. But you know, when Byron and Hong was running around, does action gauge really matters? Like as long as you can use one, then it's gonna, and then all hell break loose. So it doesn't really matter. Now it is good in PvP, in PvE, and it can definitely be good in PvP, but not in this era where you're fighting against force action units like Byron and Hongwoo. So yeah, definitely not something that is too modern. It's good skill, but not modern enough, right? The force KD is also pretty good. Doesn't have a CD also, but the thing is, it requires her to have enough, like to have a good environment to do damage to the enemies consistently enough to trigger this units, which in a meta where there's so much CCs and so much action spamming from Byron, Hongwoo and stuff like that, it might be a tall order for a pilot like her without any really self-defensive abilities to exist, let alone, you know, force knockdown enemies, right? So yeah, but you're right, always die first. It's kind of how it works. You know, look at her skills, none of them are defense, and look at Hongwoo's skill. Hongwoo's skill, like half of them punishes enemy for attacking Hongwoo. So like, so of course it will die first into this meta, and yeah, and yeah. Otherwise, yeah, nothing to. I mean, it's actually also pretty interesting. It can, you know, stop any from triggering, or I guess it can trigger a lot more of its own. Basically parts and chassis skills. Now that's pretty good, but again, active skill is nothing too. It's like, you know, there is like we way past the time where one active skill can change the whole game. So yeah, I mean, it is still a good pilot to get, but not a good pilot to box, because by having this co-pilot skill, you can replace because Hongwoo is not used in PvE. In PvP, right? And if you are, and because Hongwoo is stuck using be used in PvE, or in PvP, you don't have, you know, what's called, oh, hold on, I don't know why I have this on, but what's it called, because you couldn't use Hongwoo's co-pilot skill support anymore on what's called on Linda anymore. You can definitely use her as a substitute. Like she can do as well. Well, not as well, but she can substitute for Hongwoo's co-pilot skill that has been missing for Linda for so long now. So Linda wouldn't be doing as much DPS compared to how she used to be with Hongwoo Awaken or with Hongwoo co-pilot skill. Yeah. Alright, so that should be it for the PvP build. Now for the PvE build okay, so PvE builds, I will talk about it in my Lucifer video. Like, if you guys want to know depths, check out my Lucifer video on, but I'll just show you guys a quick PvE build for Hongwoo. For Lucifer. So, let's change support. So, Lucifer is not gonna be doing DPS. Lucifer is gonna be doing boss CCs. So what is a good boss CC pilots? So let's use Saga Awaken, and let's go for more actions. And then for the bullets, you want to use hammer, and then for the support, you will want to use this. Really depends on probably something like. I'm putting this on for now, just for more like lifesaver, I guess. Even though it doesn't really need it if the boss is already being CC'd like that. So, coding is also pretty interesting because you don't really exactly need anything special. I guess it just depends on what you have, right? And then pets, probably Scorpion as well. Yeah. And then for the special skill, you'll want to use her. So with this build, it will start at Dark State because the 30% HP down on the enemy. Now, what does that give, right? That gives melee attack will attach normal damage and lower final defense down by 30% for the boss. So like if Doom is hold on. So basically, if the boss gets melee attack by gets melee attack, it will have their final defense down by 30%, which is huge in PvE. So if you really want to use Lucifer, or if you don't have if you don't have Odin or Ushan Retrofit for PvE, then you can technically try to use Lucifer in PvE as a boss CC if you have that co-pilot skill for the for the Lucifer pilots. So something like this can definitely be used in PvE. And the only thing that I'm iffy about is depends on like for the coatings, right? But for the coatings and for the support, it depends on what you have, right? Depends on what you have. And actually, because I'm using Scorpion, I'll probably be using the jammer, so it can be stunned more potentially, right? And the coatings again depends on what. Let's say if the boss is aggressive, then you should probably put on lower aggression. So because you don't want to take another 30 damage again where you turn back to light mode. So yeah. So this should be Lucifer in PvE. You do require to use this co-pilot skill or the cannon pilot's co-pilot skill, just because you need the transformation. So, well, 7-star enough or 7 PvE? Okay, 6-star enough. Yeah, 6-star enough because you only need the chassis. Yeah, right. Yeah. Good question. Yeah, 6-star is enough for PvE if you want to use in PvE. But the thing is, if you're getting a 6-star Lucifer, you might as well go for 7-star because 7-star PvE is also PvPable now. So yeah, if you have 6-star Lucifer, I highly suggest you just get 7-star so you can use it in PvP as well. So yeah. So that should be it for the PvE builds for Lucifer. Is there anything I've been missing today? I'm actually very tired right now. But I want to get through what's called boss. Oh, also NC reset it. Dang. Okay. So let's go to Boss Awaken. Where's Boss Awaken? Boss Awaken. I'll go over quickly because again, he is a pilot that really, how do you say, not like it's not. It is too. I mean, I think he is a joke character according to the thing I saw, which I guess makes sense. I mean, the awaken itself is not bad. But it is just like probably a few years too late, I guess, or not, a few months too late. So first skill, in combat support. Now this skill do huge damage actually. Just and doing a good bit of damage. Now this damage, if at max level, can do like I think 11,000 damage. So if you are struggling against, now okay, if you are to a point where you can awaken pilots, then this really isn't anything special anymore. So yeah, never mind. But if you want to, you probably use this skill to against some for some speed run, like against some events or against some challenges. Maybe, but it also requires you to have that the active skill to be max level, which you might want to use points on other ones, and its supporting parts don't even benefit itself because it is for all allies. Now Shaman once every 5 seconds plants a small contact bomb on every ally, and approaching enemy it will detonate. Now the area where it will detonate are pretty huge, and that's pretty good. Time when it explodes, it can probably damage not just the trigger, it can also damage whoever it was around. Like the AoE effect on it, is pretty large. So yeah, not bad at all. And of course, this skill will work extremely well if you have, I think it was like, I don't remember. I think clones doesn't do damage. Like if you summon clones, and this bomb is on it, then it wouldn't do damage, or something like that. And it requires summons or something like that. I don't remember exactly, but definitely test it out. But just know that this skill will probably be very broken if it was used along right when Chi-Tian went out with his whole clone thing. If it has that, or if this awaken came out while it has that, there may be a team where it will just purely for spamming as much bomb as possible onto the enemy or something like that. But because it is not because that doesn't really work anymore, so this skill might as well not exist, I guess. 喵喵欢迎喵喵欢迎还是太。And now strength. Now strength just RNG buff. You can just read it yourself. Just RNG buffs, not even good buff compared to some other units. So yeah, just yeah, nothing too special about that. Now, for the last skill, last skill is interesting. Basically, every 1 HP loss, it will run a 0.4% chance to essentially just dodge the attack. I guess. It's kind of not. It sounds interesting, but it is nothing too special because Ling Zhu can already do that 50% of the time without any added on things, right? So I highly suggest to just, how do you say, it's a good skill that you want to max, but it is I feel like it shouldn't have any it shouldn't have requirements like that. It needs 1% loss HP. Even if it doesn't have that requirements, it will still not be a top pilot. But it's still good that a pilot can go up to 40%. I guess dodging attack. But the thing at the same time, if it reached 40%, your unit's boss probably already dead by then. So yeah. And then and of course, when it dies, it will go into it will go into immunity from damage, and it will get traction of all enemy on the field. It's a good last hell, take off the burden from the allies and make it focus on him, and when he's unkillable, something like this. But the thing is, this is a bit weird because it doesn't actually like, or it's not weird, like, cause they didn't really say it. It's just like, it's not like, how do you say? It's not like I go into invincibility mode. It's more like it go into a timer where once the timer is done, then it dies, kind of. So it's not like, oh, like, so it's not, essentially it's not like an unyielding effects. So it's more like a last stand, like, I don't even know, like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know how to explain. Just know that the last skill is temporary when it does die. So yeah, not bad. Okay, so as awaken is not bad. As awaken is definitely not bad. It's pretty on par with, you know, with strength and all that. But look at Byron and look at Hongu, look at Rhea, look at Sayaka, look at you know, every other pilot. Like, is there room for him? Like, is there room for him? I'm not too sure. Even in Apex, if you're someone who can already play Apex, you might already have 8 units that can that is better than this awakening already. So yeah, but it's not saying that this unit doesn't have any uses. You can still be, you know, it can still be useful, and it can be, and sometimes combine it with some other strategy, it can be something fun. But it is definitely not a priority. Awaken Saga first for the really great support, then awaken Tetsuya, awaken Koji, and then awaken him, something like that. So unless you have a special build, like, let's say if you have like 3 Chitian or a lot of summons or something like that, then you probably use try to use this one. But again, bomb era has already passed way too far already. So yeah. All right, so I think that should cover about boss. All right, so let me answer some questions on the thing. So I think someone was asking about PvP builds, right, or something like that. Now Lingzu can do it for more than 30% with boss. Can I also team combo? Oh, okay, so yeah, so I think I think it's the one that so okay, so this is not my build, right? This is not my build. This is more a team from someone else's. No, this is not optimal, right? Optimal builds, you can't exactly make an optimal build covering everything, because, you know, everyone has to have a different team and such, right? So we got Hongu on Warring Thunder, of course. Then we have Hongu on Warring Thunder. Then we have Disaster on Great Mazinger Saga. Then we have Tetsuya on Zero for the damage. And then we got a support team. It's kind of honestly, yeah, wouldn't be too far from this. This is like 2 tank plus DPS, and then you got a CC and you're gonna support. And in any other setup, it will just be like, just replace one of them to be pure tank, replace one of them to be pure damage, or have both of them to be something like Lucifer, right, where it can do both, right? So something like this. So a CC, a support carrier, which is which is like a tanky pilot, or a range unit that is safe with a support pilot. Then have either have Zero and Great Mazinger, or have Zero and Lucifer, have Zero and, you know, what else? And not Odin. Odin will be this one. What does Ian have right now? Let me check real quick. Ian has Kimikage, yeah, Kimikage, Tazumi, yeah. So these, right? For example, like for that team that I just saw, replace the team and the builds for Kimikage, for Takemi Katsushi, Lucifer, or Leviathan, even Leviathan, Cheetian, even just replace Mazinger Zero, or just replace Great Mazinger Kaiser with any of that I talked about, would be a proper team for PvP. So, why Rhea instead of Saga? Because I haven't awakened Saga yet. Because I'm too lazy. So that's why I'm still using. That's why I'm still using Rhea. If you have enough patience, or if you can awaken Saga instead of Rhea. Okay, so yeah, that's why I don't have. Actually, no, I do have it here, but it's in my 6v6 team. But I don't think I have her max yet though. So yeah, that's why I'm using Rhea at the moment. I guess Rhea can funnel in 44. But yeah, top player definitely use Rhea. Definitely use Saga instead of Rhea, because Saga is just better overall, especially with Byron. And you know, you're probably using Byron, you're probably using Tetsuya, you're probably using Hongwu, so you probably want to use Saga more than Rhea. And I know there's another question that I saw somewhere, but I need to check. I don't remember what that was. Let me see. It was like early on, I think it was. Like all builds units like Oberon and King Arthur. Oberon Awaken. Okay, I'm not sure about Oberon Awaken, right? Because Oberon Awaken is really just Apex, like you use her Apex, and she's not that picky about pilots. Picky about Mecha, I think. Just make sure you use her on a melee unit, should be fine. And I think a unit with a sword should be fine, right? And at that point, will be depending on the mecha that you have, then Oberon, right? So, but about King Arthur, right? About King Arthur. Now, King Arthur is far outdated at the point, but if you want to use it, you in PvE, right? You PvE, and it will just be, let's pick Saga, and let's pick where I have my King Arthur is, wherever it was. King Arthur. King Arthur is oh my god, I can't. Where is King Arthur? King Arthur. And you just follow the usual, the usual build for boss ECs. So yeah, swords. So yeah, just this one, and then probably this one. Probably just Firm Seal, something like this, and Scorpion. Maybe not Scorpion. Maybe this one, and then for the corporate skill, probably, I don't know. I used last time on Lucifer, I don't remember. Whichever it was, maybe even Purify or something like that. Something like this probably works. Yeah, something like this for a boss CCs, right? So if you really want to use King Arthur, it really can, like, it probably this is probably the only job you can really do is CCing the boss. They just hope your boss doesn't target you. So let's put on like a camouflage, right? They just hope the boss doesn't target your King Arthur. And if you want this unit to be stronger, you really just have to wait for like whenever they update this unit or something like that. So, but if I ever find any new tech about this unit to be able to use, then I will definitely be using that. And I'll be making a video about it and such. So I definitely stay tuned on those. So. Alright, I am very, very tired. I'm not sure if you can tell by hearing my voice and my brain's workingness, I guess. So if you guys have any more questions, just let me know now. If not, I'll just call it a day for now, and then timestamp will be out about 10 to 20 minutes or so. Some part wouldn't be timestamped. I will probably timestamp like overall timestamp. So definitely check that out. Just skip around and stuff like that. So, like, for example, if you're here, definitely, Jesus Christ, I'm very tired. If I got a team, after 10,000 years, or to finally put a team to remove it. Wait, to finally put a team after 10,000 years only to be removed in 10 seconds. What does that mean? I don't know. Yeah, I am way too tired. Maybe because I'm tired, so I couldn't understand. So, let me know if you have any questions. I'm gonna start packing up stuff, so I'm not too exhausted after this. Jesus Christ, I'm fucking dying. Sorry for cursing. God. No more questions, guys. No more questions. No more questions. If not, then I will go a day. Jesus Christ, my. Probably gonna go to sleep for a bit. Alright, so thank you so much for watching, and happy Iron Saga 5th anniversary, right? Please consider sharing this. Oh, any theory beside any best, because in theory any best pilot. Okay. As I said before, and it's really sad, is that the best pilot after Hongwu on most mecha are gonna be Byron, and the best units after Byron are probably no one, I think. Hold on. Yeah, because force actions is not something anyone can replicate, right? So it's not something that can really be can be replicated after that. Yeah, there isn't anyone, because they're in a whole new different game there, right? So with Byron and Hongwu, Byron can make Hongwu can make a lot of things possible, and Byron is like a offensive version of Hongwu, kind of, which actually limits it on a lot of stuff, because not all the time, because when you require enemy to hit you, it can really slow things down, right? So that's the downside of Byron, but it's already still very strong. But again, best unit after Hongwu is gonna be Byron, and then after Byron, it really depends on, like, it really has to be I don't know. After Byron, it's not in the, because the pilot doesn't do the same thing anymore. The pilot does not do the same things after Byron and Hongwu. And at that point, think what is better now. So, and that will depending on the mecha. So, for mecha, go twist stuff for Max and Fire, yeah, something like that. So, like, for example, if you're using Lucifer, right? After Byron, I will probably be using her. That's who I will use, because she can give a really good gap with that chainsaw of hers and G mode for anti things. So she will probably be the one after, and after her will probably be Matilda, or it'll probably be Shin-Oh, which I'll be getting to her next stream or something if I can. So yeah, Matilda or some of them. Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you. Baron Hongwu really the reason why people say the game now is men bonding, because it is just 3 male in a team, and then we have 1 female, that's Sayaka, buffing the 3 males in a team. Oh well. Well, there's Disaster, but Disaster is more of a technical one where it just kind of like zoom in and out, and then anti things. It's more of a it's like a tool against certain stuff, right? Yeah. Alright, see you guys. Oh, PvE spill. Oh yeah, right. That's so true. That's so true. Yeah. That's so true. Well, now, okay, now definitely usable. Using females with the belt depending on inancy, but yeah, I probably should. I probably will do better if there are, if I use Byron. Who knows, right? So, oh.